You're welcome back. Now, with barely 24 hours to the presentation of the 2019 budget, Joy Business has scouted the high expectations of persons from all walks of life, from business associations to a graduate turned petty trader and, of course, a 20-year-old female painter. Who has made it big, by the way. Now, the 2018 budget, putting Ghana back to work, is aimed at creating jobs through the NABCO program and the National Entrepreneurship Innovation Plan. Now, in this edition of AM Business, Charles Aite and Odelia Ntiamwa gauge the expectations of entrepreneurs. Check it out.
The 2019 budget comes amidst high expectation from business associations who say next year's budget should give a clear appreciation of how the economic environment will be like. For most of these associations, the cedi is the prevailing issue on their minds. President of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, says the 2019 budget must offer solutions to the cost of doing business in the country, especially dealing with the currency fluctuations.
The holding factor is the exchange rate, and then we are expecting that it should be looked at so that when there's a problem in that angle, it throws everything out of place. So we believe government is making all efforts to make the exchange rate stable for all of us. It's very important for us, the traders. And then we are also expecting that based on our previous engagement with government, they will also peg the dollar for the purposes of duty payment for a period, so that we don't have it reoccurring anytime when the exchange rate goes down. It doesn't enable us to plan, and it worries a lot. So we are expecting that they will also take into consideration the pegging of the dollar.
The Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, also wants the budget to give clarity on how government seeks to fund its flagship programs. Sechuma Kwabwa is CEO of the AGI.
The expectations on AGI has always been very high. Because for the private sector, they want to see a leader, and I think we are achieving just that. The challenge is that once you are doing well, the expectation is even higher. So businesses are always coming on us. What is AGI doing about this? When tariff goes up, what is AGI doing about it? So the expectation is very high, and we hope together we'll be able to meet that expectation. And advocacy for the manufacturing sector was largely spearheaded by the states. We have gone beyond, because we see industry is not only manufacturing, but key services that impact on the manufacturing sector.
In 2018, one of the areas that government concentrated on when it comes to entrepreneurship was the fact that, well, it had promised the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program in 2017. And then, well, in 2018, the seed money of 10 million Ghana cedis was set aside to make the lives of entrepreneurs easy. About 5,000 people so far have applied, to make sure that they get some seed money to start their businesses or move their businesses forward. Apart from that also, government promised in the budget that if you were 35 years and below and you were employing people as an entrepreneur, you were actually going to get between a 3 to 5 year tax rebate, so that your business could establish and move on. So, well, I'm here in this room, met a young painter who's finished secondary school, trying to put a business together, to find out exactly what she really hopes to see in the 2019 budget and to see how that will directly affect her work.
Meet Marianne Ransford Arthur, a 20-year-old self-employed painter who quit a science program in her final year in secondary school to follow her passion as an art student. From Takoradi, she is in Accra to paint the rooms of several clients. Marianne has not really heard a lot about the 2018 budget. The only information she has is on the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan. She heard that from her mother, who thought with her startup business that she could apply for capital injection from the 10 million seed money.
Have you heard anything about the 2018 budget in relation to what government is doing for entrepreneurs?
Honestly, no, because I hardly watch telly. I spend all of my time painting and stuff, so I hardly watch telly. And I get home very late, so I'll be tired and I'll have to sleep. So I don't really have time to watch telly.
But do you think government cares about entrepreneurs? Do you feel that you have a government that is looking out for entrepreneurs?
From what I've seen and what I'm hearing and what I've read, I think he's looking out for entrepreneurs, and I think that's the best thing, because if he tries to focus on only investing leavers, there'll be a lot of unemployed people, unemployed youth, and that would lead into the youth doing other things like armed robbery and prostitution and stuff, because when you invest a leaver and you are not innovative, you find it very difficult to earn some money.
People with skills that can directly create employment is the area of her interest as a young lady when Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta mounts the podium to deliver the budget statement.
On Thursday, when the Finance Minister zooms in on the budget, exactly what would you like to see as an entrepreneur?
I would like to see the government investing a lot into entrepreneurs. Yes, because if there are more entrepreneurs, a lot of people will be employed, and that will help a lot.
Currently, have you employed anybody?
Yes, my uncle gave me a guy. He's unemployed, so I think I'll be going around with him. And I plan on opening a business, so I plan on employing other youth who are interested in this kind of thing.
Now, specifically, what do you want the Finance Minister to be doing for entrepreneurs to make people like you really thrive in a country like this?
I think there are many hidden talents, so they have to try going around asking people who don't have a voice to speak out but have talents to bring them out, to encourage them to do what they want to do.
So your worry really is that we have spent a lot of time to look at the formal sector or formal education as the only means to an end, but you think that people with talents and education should also be given the chance?
Yes, I think that should be, because not everybody is good in class, not everybody is good at reading and stuff, so I think they should push those who have talents.
If you sit down and you are waiting for the government cannot provide jobs for all of us. So we have to find a way getting money or find a way doing something.
With rising increase in unemployment rates, many other young graduates like Samuel have resorted to petty trading. He wants to start his own business as a university graduate. But with little or no capital, his business pitch still hangs in the balance.
It was business that I started. I sell fowls, guinea fowls and goats to make a living out of it and also support my education. If I get the capital, I'll make sure that I establish a business that I can even employ a lot of people out there. Those who don't have job and they are moving around, I can engage them in one way or the other in business.
We also got in touch with Bright Sasu, the retailer who supplies Samuel with his stock of toiletries. He narrates how challenging it has been for him as an entrepreneur over the past years.
It's not easy, because if you don't have the finances, you can't do it. Because to start a business in Ghana here now, you need finances. You need support from someone. And you have to also support yourself. You cannot live all your life or depending on one person or depending on someone. You two have to work very hard.
To help reduce the unemployment canker, government recently opened the Nation Builders Corps, a job creation avenue expected to employ many university graduates nationwide. Through the Presidential Business Support Program, about 7,000 businesses had received business advisory services from the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan, while 1,350 individuals have received startup capital nationwide. But Samuel believes more can be done.
For me, in the budget, I will be expecting to see a portion of it giving priority to private business, people who are willing to start business on their own. If government should fix or figure this one into the budget, it will be of great help and it will go a long way to reduce the unemployment rate in Ghana.
Joy Business's Philip Namfuri thinks with the current struggles at the banking sector, government continuous support for startups and small-scale businesses will be the way to go.
Going forward into the 2019 budget, I'm sure we should see more moves, more interventions, more programs to grow the entrepreneurship and, most importantly, the SME space. Because you know, when an entrepreneur starts, he starts small, it grows the SME. Then we see the big businesses as they try and sustain their operations.
You notice that almost all the banks that collapsed had a key concentration on opening up for SMEs to be able to borrow. Government is supposed to create the enabling environment for businesses like this to develop. Exactly what should government be looking at, for example, in the coming budget? Because when it comes to the banking sector, they really don't open up to entrepreneurs. And so my issue is, when government creates the enabling environment, then these people can really thrive. And when you look at the dynamics of employment in this country, it looks like the SME is actually taking a chunk of who is employed in this country.
Thank you very much. With regards to entrepreneurship and startups, when you're starting a business, it's not prudent to borrow. You don't know the stage of development of your business, how it's going to go, what's your inflows, your cash flows. So it's not prudent to borrow unless you've got some you've got some sureties that if you go and take these funds, this is what your business is going to produce. It's always necessary to start off with equity, capital from a friend, a family member. Let me avert your mind to the Venture Capital Trust Fund. They are vegetable powers and funds to give money to young people, maybe in the form of equity or debt, or a combination of both. So going forward, with regards to the banking sector that you mentioned, interest rates have been declining. However, the pace is quite slow, or the rate of decline is quite slow. So if you are even a well-established business owner and you are going for a loan, the rates might disturb you. So it's prudent that we get our macro fundamentals strong and sound in order for businesses that are already in existence to borrow from. If you are starting out fresh, it's not prudent to borrow, as we've seen. When you're going to take a loan, you don't know what your business is going to turn out into. It's always good to start with equity or capital. And back to the presidential pitch, it's such an innovation where the young lady that got the money has money from the president's own coffers or from his own pockets, like he said, and other sources. So that one is more or less free money to you. Use it rightly. If you go and borrow, the bank will be on your neck to pay back, and you're going to contribute to the non-performing loans that we also see if you can't pay back. So going forward, yes, interest rates will trend down over the course of time if we keep the fundamentals stable. We should see the interest rates will trend down. But then there are other sources. I always mention the Ghana Stock Exchange's Ghana Alternative Exchange, GAX, where young or small businesses with a potential for growth can access funds from. So if you're interested, you can go into the Ghana Stock Exchange and start interacting with them and get something going.
Whichever way you see it, the 2019 budget is exactly going to be a game changer for both businesses and petty traders alike.
We're going to bring you more on the budget later on the show because my colleague Roland Walker will be live from the market. We've been speaking to students from UDS, also people from Siame Magazine in Kumasi. So we'll bring you all of that shortly. But we're going to be back first with a conversation on diabetes because, of course, today is World Diabetes Day. You might be amazed at some of the things you can learn about the condition right after these messages.